starting on defense, pardon me. eUnited starting on attack. And we're going to go ahead and start the ban phase off.
Obviously, this will work well for a DarkZero team that is typically quite proficient on attack, even though that's changed over the last little while. They had the best attacker win rate in all of Stage 1. Now that we're in Stage 2, we'll see if they can maintain that. We talk endlessly about defenders on Villa and how the map tilts in their favor. They obviously will be buoyed by the fact that they are starting on the more favorable half. Operator bans coming out, and we see yet another Zofia ban. This was something that eUnited did last week, actually. They don't like dealing with the Zofia and feels like she is a very important tool that when removed from the arsenal of their opponents, that it makes it a little bit easier for eUnited to deal with them.
Oh, attacker ban's done. Defender ban's finishing up. Interestingly, a mute ban. I think that has to do with the Thatcher ban. We might see a Wamai here. We've been seeing him become a more prevalent ban as of late, but no, it'll be a Maestro. So that's going to be a Wamai and a Jaeger still in play. It'll be very difficult to get your throwables or your projectiles where you want them in this match. And it's something that you're going to need to consider moving forward. Now, we've been seeing Villa play quite a lot in Stage 2. Actually, it's the second most played map behind Cafe. And it's got an overall well-balanced win-loss ratio. It's a 55% favor to defense. And that is with the bans we've been seeing a lot on the attacking side being so impactful. The Thatcher ban in particular, that's going to really hurt the attack in this map. So Villa slightly favored defense. It's been more balanced than in the past. That's the big thing. So I think we've got the makings of a good match here right now, or a good map, I should say, overall.
I would agree with that. I'm very hyped up about this one. Out of the two games that are being played today, this is the one that I would like to watch the most because I think there are more questions that need to be answered than in the other matchup. This one is, not necessarily a toss-up. I know that Jesse made a point to talk about how he's heard from a number of analysts and managers and other teams, etc., that they actually think that eUnited will be able to take this. I don't know if I'm that confident. I would align more with Veli in regards to saying that I think DZ is probably going to win this match. But who knows? A lot of people thought the Sonics were going to be top 4 in North America. Many thought they had a very good shot of it, and they didn't exactly have the greatest run so far.
Yeah.
So our predictions can be completely off base. Additionally, for those that haven't been paying attention, Echo is removed from all competitive play as per the developers. So Echo is not going to show up at all. Consider him disabled from the operator pool.
Nice little quality of life change there for the players. In North America,
Absolutely.
We were seeing a lot of squads have gentlemen's agreements to get Echo out of there, as he is still a very problematic operator. He is bugged out. For those of you who do not know, occasionally you cannot shoot his yokai drone. But now it's just an official thing. Huzzah. So with that in mind, the bans will be different and the gameplay will be different as such. Now, in this round, it's a master clear. You can see they're trying to get control of 90. The attack is, anyway. They've already successfully shored up the Astro side of the building. There will be air jabs on the staircase. No flanks coming up from Astro stairs. So now the attack just needs to worry about translating this to a site execute.
Mint gets droned out and then falls back ever so slightly. He's going to have some Banshees and Magnets surrounding him, making the job of the attackers significantly more difficult. The man that will be taking him on head-on will be Alfama, posted up watching that 90 window. He's not going to see anything unless Mint swings in that direction. We'll see if anybody else from eUnited will move back onto drone, as we don't have any intel on Mint outside of that. He's going to sit and watch the same angle. Alfama is very capable of winning this gunfight, but the moment that he goes to swing on in, it should be an easy pick for Mint. He could get traded off as Rexon has now repositioned himself and taken up in the exact same spot that Mint just was. Throws out the flashbangs just to burn through the magnets. Alfama needs to be careful of that because his target is going to be on the wall into Classical and then the wall onto Vault as well. As it stands, the Ace hasn't decided to enter the building just yet, but the smoke is going to at least cut off some of the line of sight from the defenders playing inside of games.
That's a great angle opened up there by eUnited, and it will allow a much more convenient pinch onto the B bomb site when the attack goes for that inevitable plant attempt. No frags for either team just yet. The Wub gives away the intentions of eUnited, and the first gas canister will be detonated. But that is, again, the first. With only 25 seconds, there is no way eUnited will be able to burn the remaining defensive utility. They must go for frags, or this round will be bust. Nice entry there from Grixer, but he'll be downed. Second gas canister, and we're coming up against the end of the round here. Yeti, though, finds a blind spot in the gas canister. He's planting and not taking damage. Rexon runs in pool table, and he'll pick up 3 big kills. It's all on Eclipse now to get a 1v3 and a disable on that diffuser. He will shut down Rexon. That's big. 2 more left. 1 in study, 1 by landing. Only 30 seconds to make this play. You can see one of the attackers fell all the way downstairs. That's Yeti. He'll play with the skeleton key from below, and there's almost no chance as a result. That's a very difficult challenge for Eclipse. Ooh, he sees an opportunity, but misses the shot. Devastating to his chances in this round. Peeking into study, he'll hit the air jab, and Kansan will shut him down. eUnited take round number 1.
A nice bit of confidence from eUnited as they knew exactly how they wanted to make life miserable for the defenders playing inside of the bomb site. The moment that they got that sidewall in Classical Hall, and then could begin to pressure the remaining part of the other bomb site over by Aviator, it made it so that the DZ defenders weren't capable of pushing up the same way that they wanted to without worrying about who was looming over by 90. And playing over by that 90 spot was Rexon on the Ash. He manages to just float right into the bomb site, kill 3 people, I believe. He was technically credited with 3 kills. And it cleaned up DarkZero from the back. DarkZero's attention was entirely on the action, taking place by the vault door with the default plant that Yeti was going for after the first canister almost kills him, and then the second canister actually totally seemed to miss him. A lot of this fell to that 90 control that we talked about. Mint playing off of that spot, there was a heavy investment from utility on DarkZero's side of things. We saw a couple magnets over in that position. We saw a Banshee over there from Malusi. And Mint fell off, I think, without provoking an engagement, probably quite correctly. It would have been him in a 1v1 duel with Rexon with the possibility for Alfama to swing on in too. But the moment that Mint got shaken off, eUnited did not go for the throat. They could have continued to press the bomb site right away. They didn't. They just waited back and let Alfama do his job because the utility work was a key part of how eUnited were able to get that diffuser down. That second wall isn't opened up by 90. DZ can rotate quite effectively in the bomb site without having to worry about watching their back.
I still can't believe this guy's missed that smoke on vaults. The fact that I think it was Yeti was able to get far enough into the vault cubby where the smoke wasn't hitting him. It looked like it was right on him, but no. I really, again, the non like decisively defined gas canister plume is always so deceptive, you know? Anyway, it's a library living room defense here for DZ. They will not linger on their lost bomb site. Ooh, that's some damage incurred there from Hot and Cold, but he almost landed the headshot onto what appeared to be Kansan, who goes upside down rappel to try and protect the study push. While getting opened up here, it's an attempted top clear. The reason they're trying to clear out top is because from above, you can easily hold this site as a defensive squad. You can see all the holes that were made in the floor to do just that. So it is paramount that if you intend to execute onto the site, you clear above first. That's the intent of DZ. They want to funnel eUnited into wasting time on the top floor. So far, mission accomplished.
So United have opened up these study walls. Hot and Cold is prepped to strike not too far off. He's by Classical. This is a very pivotal part of the map that we've talked about at length. There's a Banshee there as well, just in front of him, that Hot and Cold will be able to get some audio cues unless we see some explosives take care of that Banshee. It is completely bulletproof, so you don't need to worry too much about shooting it. There's the first bit of contact as it's Skies engaging with Rexon, and Skies gets punished by Grixer. So eUnited better on these opening duels. They get first blood and take Skies off of the stairs. So some of that second floor control that they wanted is now theirs. They still need to be wary of the positioning of Hot and Cold. But other than that, eUnited, this is the strong entry that they wanted.
That's a great pick to start things off there. And they're still pressuring this top floor hold. It's Mint and Hot and Cold to try and dissuade the attackers. But not working out great so far. More damage done here to Kansan. No kill. Nade soars towards Houghton, forcing him to reposition and will result in his death. Mint will get one, but not a second, as Rexen waltzes in to Gunvault. And now, in a 4v2, United have almost full control, but very limited time.
It's a really great shot by Hyper now. From down below, there goes a gas canister from Eclipse. He's still got two more. He's going to run head first into the three members of eUnited, all assembled just to his left. Through the wall, that gas canister hoping to do some damage. Doesn't look like it's doing quite enough. Hyper takes two and swinging on the ace. Alfama with the big clutch. That'll hype up the team. That was a round that looked unwinnable, but DZ gave us hope and then took it away. Alfama gunning everybody down with the AK, and eUnited finds their second round in a row.
I thought that was a swing back there for DZ. It looked like they were going to be able to bring it all the way home thanks to Eclipse's smoke through the wall. But then, puzzlingly, Eclipse swings the corner, gas canister being tossed, no gun out, and Alfama is gifted a single kill. The second defender also exposed. He's got enough bullets in the magazine. There's the final kill, and eUnited wins the round despite how close DZ brought that. It should have been a DZ round. Well played to DarkZero on the site to bring it back into their favor. And yet, eUnited still somehow wins it out. Impressive stuff. A little bit messy, but if you're winning in the chaos, you're still winning, and it's all that matters.
So you try Aviator yet again. Like I talked about, I think one of the big focuses for DZ was on 90, and they fell off maybe for Mint a bit too early. They've changed some things up. They obviously don't like the Wamai pick here, realizing that it just got chewed through by all the thrown gadgetry. So instead, they're going to bring a Goyo on board. A Valkyrie will also pop up. We'll see exactly how they'll utilize these operators, as it appears that Eclipse is roaming a bit of the ways off site. Now, Aviator Games is a bomb site where you can comfortably sit all 5 of the defenders either in the bomb site or close enough to the bomb site that it's not really considered roaming by most uses of the word. Now, if you're over by Trophy and Statuary, Michael, that is obviously somewhat disconnected from the actual bomb site, and that's a much stronger roam. eUnited immediately showing some aggressiveness as they enter Art Studio, and Yeti is just not going to be slowed down. Using that skeleton key, he'll open everything up for his teammates, and him 30 seconds in. And those off-site players from DarkZero could have very easily wound up in the crosshairs of eUnited, but it seems like they've fallen off.
Trying to play it safe, or that's how DZ appears to be playing this. Now, just a brief reminder, this is eUnited's map pick. And further, this is certainly DarkZero's worst map in recent history. They've played it 4 times, and they've won it a whopping 1 time. They lost it twice to SSG and once to Sonics. They managed to beat TSM here. But still, statistically, that's bad overall for DZ. What's good for DZ, though, is they'll pick off Yeti. First casualty in this round, the Buck, who could have actually inflicted crucial damage onto the anchors from below using a skeleton key, but not so in this round, as he is waiting for the next one to start on cams.
But Selma doesn't seem to get caught by an ADS. I'm trying to determine if it did on the wall or not. There's Eclipse to strike onto Grixer. 2 down now for eUnited, finding themselves even farther back in the man count than they were before. Half of the round to play. This is recoverable, and there goes some of the wall. Unfortunate for Mint, he gets killed by a leg as Alfama is on the ground, and as Selma's tearing away at that wall will take some of the pressure off of the attackers to get from study into the bomb sites.
It's a great pick there from Alfama. It was because of the reverse prone, presenting a weird profile. And another one for Alfama. Doesn't get the third, though. Eclipse will keep his team in the lead. That is a big pick there for Eclipse. Had Alfama been allowed to continue to run rampant over his opponents, and I think United would be in the lead right now in terms of man count. There's still enough time to execute under the site, though. So these attackers are not out of it just yet. They do, however, have a very difficult proposition when it comes to this execution.
There's 30 seconds, and a team flash will slow down Rexen and Kanzan. Kanzan then felled by a hail of bullets. All the way from inside a vault, that's Hyper to do some significant damage. Pistol out, but it's Eclipse getting in on the fun. 3 kills for Eclipse. Overall, a great team effort for DarkZero as they take that round, their second attempt at Aviator, and they put their first round on the board here on Villa.
That was a solid one there for DZ, and it's definitely the best showing we've seen from them so far. A big part of that, of course, you've got Eclipse on, or no, it wasn't Eclipse. It was it was Eclipse on 90, who was able to prevent the push in through West Hall and the push in through the breach by the bar. That's the most crucial thing. If you cannot control 90 in West Hall, and when you're executing on the bar, you're not going to be able to get that two-pronged assault that everyone covets, that everyone loves to get. And if you cannot get that two-pronged assault, then it makes the attack really easy to stop. And that's exactly what we saw DZ do. One person on 90 is all it takes. So well done to DarkZero for having the control that was necessary to force the attackers in through one breach and one breach only. DarkZero now looking a little bit better. And they've started to pick up their own rounds.
So over to kitchen we go. Bomb site that has popped up quite regularly and has a number of different avenues that the attackers can take if they want to successfully pull off the objective play here. Now, few teams get a plant down in B, but we have seen it happen somewhat recently. The target in the A bomb site tends to be where Mint is playing over by the laundry door. There's a plant spot nearby that is often referred to as default. You can also storm in and take the A bomb site in the south room and try to get a bomb down behind the desk to play off of for protection. These are possibilities. Defenders will likely stay above. Right now, DarkZero doesn't have anybody playing over the bomb site itself. Hyper and Skies are somewhat disconnected, if not entirely disconnected from each other. Skies could get Rex in here if he doesn't check appropriately. Rexon pops off. I don't know if Skies heard it or not. He gets droned out from 90 and will immediately pivot. Jaeger versus Ash. This is a tale as old as time.
Support here, though, for the attack, and Skies is going to be the one to lose it as Kansan just takes that AK and wins outright. No 2v1 there. Just a straight win on Kansan's side. So that early pick for eUnited is the opposite of what we saw in the previous round. The early picks served DZ last round. Now they serve the attack. And the continued roam clear, as you can see, eUnited trying to stay on top of objects to prevent getting C4'd from below. They see that there's a pulse on the other team, and they're wary of the potential of that pulse. Top floor clear, though, just about successful. One defender still on Astro Stairs, but the rest of the top floor has been cleared out. DZ forced to a horizontal roam.
So eUnited have been able to pop one of those, I don't know, what do you call it? Bits of pressure? I was going to say zit, and then I realized that'd probably be pretty graphic.
I actually made that comparison once when...
popping a zit?
You know, like, it was like 3-4 years ago, though.
People without acne will never know how good it feels to pop a zit. It gets rid of all the pressure entirely.
We can't, Parker.
What did you say?
We can't. I remember who I was co-casting with. He said, that's disgusting.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's a part of life. So
it is. It's true. It's true.
But that's a bit of pressure that's been taken off, and unless there is a late flank, and with a Nomad in play, that'll be shut down somewhat swiftly if the air jabs have been put in a good spot. That means that United can go about getting an execute off, or at least getting close to the bomb site to pull off that execute without really worrying too much. Now, Mint is daring himself a fight inside a kitchen and realizes that it might not be the smartest idea, so he heads back to watch Laundry. Problem is that Laundry has been entirely opened up. eUnited's ground game on that second floor, way too strong, as Hot and Cold gets punished for it. DZ now down by 2. One body sighted by Mint, but he gets blown open by a frag grenade from Grixer. There's another from Kansan. So far, they have all the kills for their team, and it's Eclipse against all 5 members. Make that 4 as Rexon goes down, but Kansan finishes it off. 3 kills from Kansan, 2 from Grixer. eUnited takes their 3rd round. They are making attack on Villa look relatively easy against DarkZero.
Yeah, that was pretty one-sided. I think the perfect word to describe that was systematic. eUnited systematically picked apart DZ's defense in that round. It started with the roam clear on the top floor, full hard control upstairs, Nomad off the rotates, open up above the site. The anchors have nowhere to hide. The nades start flying in. The crossfires galore, and eUnited cannot be stopped. That was a really well-executed round there from eUnited. But you know what else is really well executed? The skins in the Pro League bundles, which directly support the Rainbow Six esports scene and your favorite teams. You should make sure to go ahead and check those out. There is an esports tab in the shop where you can find them. And boy, howdy, do they look attractive in this new R6 share set.
Very well done, Michael.
Thank you, Parker.
And there it is on your screen. Look at the smoke one. Look at it.
I like that one. It's the that's the NAL one.
That is correct.
Yes.
I think they all look quite good.
Yeah.
Truth be told. All right, back downstairs to living room, library, and everything oh man, I wish it was kitchen, because I could say they're throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, as DZ are desperately trying to claw back into this game as they are losing their momentum here on Villa. No reason to sound the alarm just yet. This is eUnited's map, so obviously DarkZero are not going to be the most comfortable on it. Jesse talked about it in the preamble on the analyst desk, saying that this is not the strongest map historically for DarkZero.
In fact, it's probably their worst, actually.
Wow, that's kind of mean.
Well, I mean, they're not very good at Villa statistically. I mean,
it's kind of mean.
We don't have to beat around that bush, you know. Four times played, one time won. That's
kind of mean.
Okay, well, you know, just stating the obvious. The stats are there. That's a pre-play C4 there by, I think it was Hyper, and that'll be in bathroom. So that's good. That's good. He's going to play on the stairs and detonate that C4 if he has engagement in bathroom. Very clever. Sorry, Parker, I'm done being mean now.
Okay. Thanks, Michael. Very nice of you. Anyway. So...
Oh, is it going to be a double? Oh, it might be a double. Oh, no.
Oh, it doesn't even get one. There's no damage done at all to any member of eUnited. Rexon doesn't even take a single point of damage from that explosion.
It was too early.
Oh, no. That could have been so nice to watch. An explosion.
That
front row.
Could have been easily a double piece right there. 2 for 1.
Front row seats, Michael.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, too, is now that he's failed that, eUnited will be even more cautious of C4s from below moving forward on this attack half, and they're less likely to be successful after that.
Still lurking down below, the Mozzie of Hyper has his gun at his hand, and that's about it, as he'd use the nitro cell, so no utility from him, and you don't need to fear being below, even though I'm sure it will loom in the back of the minds of eUnited. You've also got the Jaeger of Hot and Cold still roaming upstairs, while the remaining members of DZ have to fear the ceiling above them being taken out of order. Yeti on the buck will continue to rip it up as best as he can. And depending on what you want to use those ash charges on, Rexon could do some significant damage too. Droning down into the basement just to be entirely sure nobody's down there, as Kansan has no air jabs left, so if they have not been placed in the appropriate area, well, your anti-flank is going to have to come from operators, not gadgets. Hyper opens things up in round number 5. 40 seconds still remaining on the clock. And DZ have the first pick.
You can see clearly the biggest problem for eUnited right now is the fact that they have not been able to contain DZ as they have done in previous rounds. You'll note that the drones were still downstairs for a good portion of this round, and they were hunting Hyper, who eventually did get that early kill. eUnited, though, transitioning to the site take. They will open up into the vault, which is strangely not reinforced. An easy kill there for Rexon and vault control, which translates to library control. Grixer will attempt to plant. As we come down to the dying seconds of this round, a very exposed position to attempt that plant, but he's going to try regardless. It looks like Grixer will be able to get it down just in the nick of time. Hyper will finish him off as he finishes the plant. Alfama, though, will get Hot and Cold, who is trying to challenge from the main hallway. Mint and Hyper now in the 2v3. Hyper with the pistol out. He's felled inside a vault by Rexon. And there you go, Rexon, the 3K to finish things up. eUnited, another round.
Michael.
What, Parker?
Wow.
Wow, indeed. I mean, I thought that DZ had that one.
I mean, didn't we say that a couple rounds ago as well?
Yeah. It's been a recurring thing.
That did not work. eUnited have been so good in the post-plant every single time that we have seen, and not even in the post-plant, when closing rounds, eUnited have been fantastic at closing out. I have a feeling with Clubhouse up next, unless eUnited really brings the heat there, we are staring down 3 maps between these teams, which, as Jesse said, man, I'm quoting Jesse an uncomfortable amount today. But that's because I like what he says. So, if you know, Jesse said, oh, if you ever thought that eUnited could have a chance against DarkZero, somebody would have called you crazy? Maybe a week ago? 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
I am very sympathetic to that argument, because I would have been one of those people to call you crazy. But eUnited are really hanging in there. The team look very well coordinated. Kansan and Rexon are tearing through even the stiffest of competition. They did well Maybe not as good as they could have, but they did well against Space Station. They did even better against the Sonics, and now they are proving themselves to be more capable than the fraggers on DarkZero.
Yeah, it's been an impressive showing from eUnited thus far. I think the strategy is the thing that I am impressed by the most, and their adaptability within said strategy. For example, in that last round, what were they trying to do? They were trying to hunt down the roamers, contain DZ back in the site, and do vertical. It's the same as what they did on Kitchen Attack, right? But DZ were elusive on the roam. They were able to actually even get a pick on the roam. And eUnited found themselves now up against the clock, a man down with no control above. It's over, you would think. It's desperate for eUnited, you would think. But an opportunity. Vault's not reinforced. What do? Open it, rush in, site control, plant in the dying seconds of the round. And DZ does not respond swiftly enough to this to alter the course of the round as eUnited has now defined it. I'm really impressed by eUnited's perseverance in that last round, and I think overall in their performance in this map.
They almost just got another opening pick there on Hot and Cold, as DZ have not been the strongest with opening up these rounds and have not been the strongest with being able to deal early damage. There's a lot to be said for cooling off either Rexin or Kansan on eUnited side of things, as they have by far and away been the two best members of the team when it comes to those opening fights. In the clutch, there's obviously more work being done from Grixer and Alfama. Grixer himself having a really huge round. Yeti is yet to find the scoreboard, and that is actually one of the scariest things.
Right.
Yeti is usually good enough to be able to take the lead on the scoreboard for his team, and so far today he's been entirely silent. I mean, and yet it is still an issue for DarkZero.
Yeti isn't just usually good enough. He's usually a carry Harry. I mean, the man does not stop. The fact that he's not performing, as you mentioned, Parker, I think you put it perfectly. That's intimidating. It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried if I'm DZ right now, especially when we transition onto the second half.
Absolutely. And I mean, DZ are pretty good on attack. Maybe with Echo, Maestro, and Mute off the board, this could be an attacker-favored Villa. We'll see. I do think those are three really strong operators. No Maestro and no Echo available. It's going to be tough. And DZ, well, they want to at least salvage one more round before they say goodbye to the defensive half on Villas. They find 3 kills all in the span of a second and a half, knocking eUnited's numbers down to 2. There goes Skies, though, on a push from Rexin over by 90. He'll have to confront the Banshee that's in front of him before he gets to the classical doorway. Problem for eUnited is that all of their work has been undone by those 3 kills. They don't have any hard breach at their disposal. They've got 1 flashbang remaining, but if DZ feeds themselves to Rexin, he's going to pick up 2 more kills. It's now a 2v2. Very winnable for eUnited. 15 seconds left, and Rexin is so hot, looking to just walk right into the site. He knows he's got 1 pinned down inside a vault. Grixer's in, going for a plant. Is there going to be a nitro cell tossed out? It's going to be all on the shoulders of Rexin, who finds kill number 4. Last one alive. He's not going to be able to get the ace. There's Hyper looking to clutch it, and he'll do just that. My God, what a round. DZ ends up taking it back after Rexin nearly steals it, and DZ will find their second round.
Rexin who? Man, what a round. A 4K, and Hyper still clutches it in the end. Grixer not positioning himself very well there, giving the opportunity away to the Mira. Devastating for eUnited, I'm sure. But the real story is Rexin. 1 kill after another, all from the same position, West Hallway. Beautiful job getting those picks, bringing that one much closer than it had any right to be. eUnited have got to be hyped up despite losing that. And you don't see rounds that are going to hype you up on a loss very often. But I imagine eUnited is plenty happy with that round, regardless of the loss.
Goodness gracious. Michael, what do you think they're feeding them?
I think
don't answer that.
They're feeding them those little wood chips that you find in like playgrounds on the on the floor.
Michael, it was a joke.
Oh, okay.
It was a joke.
Now, anyway, yeah, beautiful round from both teams. I'm really, DZ has got to be so grateful for Hyper right now. Able to pick up both those frags. Those were not easy engagements for Hyper, mind you.
Absolute ice in his veins, by the way.
Yeah.
And really, the DZ's work was undone by Rexin, and then eUnited / Rexin's work was undone by DZ at the very end. The Rexen play was flashy and it was strong, but it also came when 4 separate members of DZ pushed at different times. I guess technically 2 of them pushed at the same time behind the bar inside of games, but the other 2 were separate and isolated pushes. And you force Rexen with that R4C into 1v1s consistently. There are some days where that man just does not miss. There was no real worry about any disruption or anything like that. He didn't have to deal with any Malusi Banshees. He didn't have to deal with magnets, nothing. Didn't have to deal with anything slowing him down or being in his way or distracting from his attention. 3 opening picks from DarkZero. eUnited storms back. They had no business being as close in that round as they were, and yet they almost won it. With the diffuser down as well, they almost won it.
Oh, no. Grixer misses the chance. Mint on the cross. 1 Candela used now inside of Aviator. Yeti's going to eat some damage. We didn't see that engagement. Mint trying to challenge into Aviator. Hyper, though, the first casualty. Rexen will shut him down by top main. Skies gets Rexen, though, as he attempts to retreat bottom main and make his way back to the site. So it's equal. Both of the top fraggers on each team eliminated. We're going to have to see the sluggers start to come out here and find the scoreboard. Yeti's performance in this round will be paramount. If he's able to get his first kill and adding to the one that Grixer just got, it's likely we'll see eUnited sweep it.
There goes the only hard breach for DarkZero as well. Michael is hot and cold is sent out of the server inside of study. You've still got plenty of bulldozing / pushing power here as there goes another Candela tossed out. Still 1 remaining for Mint if he wants to use it. This is the very first time, by the way, that we're seeing this bomb site. Worth mentioning for the people watching at home.
Yeah.
Trophy Statuary is not played anywhere near as much as it used to. Kitchen has replaced it, but here we go yet again. And eUnited obviously showing some confidence there. The cheekiness from Kansan, by the way, as he tried to play through those bullet holes, goes nowhere as he shot the wall just a little bit too much. And, well, there went his safety and security. A minute to go. Skies is very low on HP. There's still 3 gas canisters in play and 2 nitro cells for eUnited, so they have plenty of plant denial.
And plant denial is definitely going to be a major factor here, as Mint can gain full control of the site and Eclipse can secure it with his air jabs. 1 C4 gone. That is crucial. I believe that was Yeti's, so no kill for him just yet. Candela's going into B, and here comes the rush from Mint. Will he check all the right corners? No. Alfalma shuts him down from Master. That's great teamwork, and Yeti picks up a 2-piece. We were talking about his performance, and he finally gets the impact frags eUnited needs. That's going to be a really important round, and it does mean we're looking at a pretty decisive first map here. Or it's not done yet, but it's certainly seeming likely.
Yeah, the hill to climb now for DarkZero is still scalable, but it's going to require a lot more work than before, and obviously DarkZero is very quickly running out of time. I don't know how prepped they were for eUnited, but it just seems like in almost every single instance, on so many of these rounds, if somebody on DarkZero isn't making a hero play, Hyper on the roam, Eclipse on the roam, that the overall structure of these team strats have favored eUnited. eUnited, for the first time in many months, look like the better, well-oiled machine than their opponents. That is something that is rare for us to say. And I mean, you have to give credit where credit is due after how many times we slagged off eUnited's performance previously. This also sticks with what the analysts talked about and what you and I spoke about before we got into this map, which is that eUnited are not playing their own style of game anymore. They have settled into a meta that is being used exclusively in North America. It does align itself with EU to a certain extent. Latin America and APAC have always had very distinctly regional flavored metas. But NA obviously a little bit different. And when you've got eUnited having 2 players that are very capable of doing their jobs and doing them quite well, and honestly 3 of them if you add Grixer to the mix, because I feel like Grixer gets slept on a lot, you can play a lot more aggressively, but with strategy behind it.
Yeah.
No shade to the previous members of eUnited, but if you are trying to pull some of these off and you have the old lineup with Fallout, or with Callout and Forest, I was almost going to say Forest and Fallout.
It's okay.
Callout and Forest on the team, I think even playing this meta with Callout and Forest wouldn't net the same results that they're seeing. So not only is the strategy important, but the upgrades on the roles as well.
Yeah, I think eUnited's new roster has definitely put them in tip-top shape. And if nothing else, it has certainly motivated the existing members on eUnited. I mean, they are playing like someone lit a fire underneath them, and it's everyone on eUnited really stepping up to get that kind of performance. And yeah, I mean, the meta that they're playing is working really well. For those of you who are confused what's going on, basically eUnited are confronting their opponents head on at all times. That's the most apparent thing that I'm noticing here. And it seems like eUnited doesn't care so much about failure. They're more playing for the win. Hyper picks up 2 big kills on top main, so that's certainly a failure for eUnited. A big win for Hyper. There's going to be more sort of challenging, actually, from eUnited. They still don't want to let this go. Yeti tosses his C4, but it misses, hits the wall. And as Rexon, I believe, tries to challenge from... whoa, what a peek from Yeti! He had no right winning that engagement. Grix are there to support him on full HP, but now Yeti is going to be in a difficult position. He's been forced off the corner. All 3 of these defenders really should be playing safe. They're going for the fights, though, and winning them.
I mean, when you can pull them off, why not go for them? You're already down at that point, and if you're worried about getting run over, the clock definitely benefits DarkZero. Utility right now, if you look at what is remaining from eUnited versus DZ, utility favoring DarkZero still. They've got all their utility from hot and cold.
What?
So that's actually happened to me. You try to vault a shield that isn't placed in the doorway, and the shield immediately breaks. And that was added a while back so that people couldn't boost on deployable shields, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember the break thing, but I mean, he was just trying to
There was
vault
a Goyo shield in that, by the way, so
yeah.
it doesn't even explode or anything.
It's got to be a bug.
That is a dagger, if you really think about it, because that Goyo shield could have been so crucial to hold them off. Meanwhile, 30 seconds left, and you can see the action happening. It's going to be over on the study wall. As DZ looks to continue to beat up on eUnited, they find Grixer looking for Rexon and Yeti. Yeti takes 1 down. That's his second. He won't be able to do more damage as Hot and Cold just soldiers on in. Now it's all Yeti. He's not going to do anything. Rexon was actually the one taken down in a hail of bullets. My eyes deceive me. DarkZero still very much in this game, and they deny eUnited match point.
Solid round there for DZ. Hero, of course, is Hyper. He picked up those 2 kills at top main, and that is actually along the same lines as what we've been seeing from eUnited. So the discussion I was trying to have there was eUnited is not playing to avoid failure. They are playing to win, and I'm really liking that from them. We saw that from Hyper just now. Really, all it is, all right, we've got a problem. 2 players holding top main. So what do we do? Well, we can pinch them, we can nade them, we can push them off with utility, we can try to go for a pick, wait for them to peek us and get an easy engage, or we could walk up main stairs. That's what Hyper did. So he's displaying that playing for the win kind of mentality where it's just take the fight, be assertive, have confidence. eUnited have been displaying that throughout the entirety of the match. Yeti peeking onto top main. That was a very dangerous peek. Again, he had no right winning that. He did, though. And the fact that he did meant there was a chance for eUnited in that last round. No, they didn't win, but a chance is better than a 5v3 and no chance at all. So, I'm loving what I'm seeing from both squads here. It's definitely a impressive performance from Hyper and eUnited.
10 seconds to go.
Hyper and Rexon, really.
Sorry?
Hyper and Rexon, really.
Well, it depends on who you voted for, by the way, in our community poll.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you vote?
It was neither of them in the community
I know.
poll.
I know. It was Kansan and Eclipse. So they heard the poll and they decided not to show up
Yeah.
the same way.
Eclipse is winning, by the way, by 1 kill.
Well, there you have it.
We should do it on teams instead of just individuals.
Who gets more kills?
Yes.
Blue or orange?
Not always the winning team, by the way.
That is very correct.
Yeah.
You always see those games where it's like one team's stats are incredible and the other teams are terrible, and the one that's incredible just like choked a couple really close rounds, and that was it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think to yourself like, wow, that's of all the games I've watched, that was one of them.
We've seen a lot of those, actually. And they're always weird when they pop up, to be honest. It could be deceptive.
Now, so Kansan has been chased away from the spot he was holding on main stairs as DarkZero have taken what they need in Aviator and will continue to push forward. It's the 3rd bomb site now for eUnited. They won Trophy Statuary, they did not win Aviator, and now they're here on Kitchen. Hot and Cold gets the opening pick. It's on to Yeti. Yeti has proven himself to be better on defense than attack stats-wise, though his equipment was doing the talking on attack. That is a bit troubling for eUnited, as this game is still rather, has many rounds to go. And a comeback potential for DarkZero is on the board.
There's no way this works. He's hiding in a shelf in the bathroom. DZ doesn't seem to be aware of it. You can see that they're actually in Astro. Hyper is in Astro, completely unawares. And, well, Rexon is not sure what to do. He doesn't want to force an engagement and risk the opportunity he's been presented with, because he could do a lot more damage than 1 kill right now if he times his push correctly. The only problem is he has no info on where his opponent is. There's 2 by concrete and he has no idea. Oh no, he's given away his intent and his position by that spray. DZ should be aware of where he is. There should be a direct confrontation now, and yes, there it is. Hyper takes down Rexon. Oh, so unfortunate for eUnited. Very fortunate for DZ. They now secure top floor control and can open up above the site.
Brain delay for Rexon gets him killed. Now Grixer goes down to mint as well, and suddenly a match that looked like eUnited were all set to win is far from over, and DarkZero have tightened things up substantially. Now they still need to try to find the remaining 2 members of eUnited. Kansan will fight back, but he's all that is left for now. Mint finishes him off. Makes me look foolish. DarkZero take their 4th round. They've now taken 2 in a row, and they're looking much more confident on their attacks.
Big part of that, of course, Hyper. One thing I will say, though, as much as that was a little bit of brain delay on Rexon and unfortunate positioning from him, at the same time, DZ didn't drone him out. They left him there. He did get past the drone setup from DZ. So that is an opportunity that might present itself somewhere else. Certainly not in bathroom, not a second time. But, you know, it's a thing to consider. There is an opportunity there. DZ are missing spots as they drone things out. That could have been, oh man, honestly, I'm disappointed, Parker, because that Rexon hiding in that corner really could have been an amazing play. It would have, let's say he picks up a 4K there. Suddenly that spot's called the Rexon corner. We've seen it before.
Oh, I like the symmetry of the Malusi in the middle of the rug, by the way.
Oh yeah, look at that. They
right
actually they
smack
bought
in the middle of it.
They bought that specific rug just for the Malusi.
Thanks, Kansan.
Nice. So kitchen not working out for either teams really. It's been a consistently bad site. The biggest thing is both of the attacking teams are very assertive when it comes to top floor control, and then they open up above, and then the anchors have nowhere to hide.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you mocking me?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's fine. I'll never forget. I'll never forget it.
Okay.
It's too late now. I'll never forget it.
Scars.
Back to Trophy Statuary. Michael, they will go. The only bomb site that eUnited had success on. And, well, I'd wondered aloud at the tail end of DZ's defensive half if this was an attacker-sided villa. And the answer is a resounding yes now. Yep. 6 rounds for the attackers, 3 for the defenders. There's still plenty to go. If eUnited wins, obviously that will change because then eUnited will need to take 2 rounds on defense and we'll change those numbers up.
Ooh.
But that's a good start on this round. Match point will await them. There goes Rexon in an engagement with Eclipse. So Eclipse will at least leave it with some scratches on the paint, but he's not totaled just yet. Hyper going down is a big problem because Hyper has 14 gosh darn kills, pardon my language.
Mm-hmm. The same with Rexon, though, as he's got 12. Both of these teams struggling when they lose their top fraggers. We're probably going to see a very different kind of style here now, as Hyper and Rexon have not only been the top fraggers, but also the tip of both teams' engagements. It's always one of them trying to take the fight to the enemy. Ooh, Chance missed out on there, but it'll at least be called out. Alfalma will tell his whole team, hey, there's a bunch of people in dining laundry area. And that's going to be good information for the defense.
I don't think he got it, by the way.
But no, he didn't.
No, I don't think he got it.
Something.
He was trying to get it.
Probably in the.
Couldn't get it.
Probably under the, like above the cement in the closet. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Could be a tough angle with IQ. Obviously, you don't see if you can ping the gadgets or not, or if there's maybe a pillar in the way. You're shooting the back of the pillar requires some Macy J level map knowledge, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that man knows every equation when it comes to these maps. So,
yes, exactly. 5+2 equals Buck opening from below, and he's going to do that quite
Absolutely
swiftly
correct.
with his skeleton key.
Oh no, though. There is a Mozzie of Yeti that is just behind where Skies is, and there he goes.
Oh,
but no, he gets smoked! And take a seat, Yeti. Skies punishes him for that play. 1 HP for the Buck as he'll continue to soldier on, and 40 seconds left. That was the opening the DZ needed. They have now taken one of the members of eUnited down below off, but there's a shotgun ready for the IQ. DZ dominating across the board, leaving Grixer to hold off. He's under fire inside a trophy, trying to play around the angles, but it's under repel in the middle of the area between the bomb sites. Are you kidding me? Eclipse? All right. DZ take the round, and with it, they are 1 away from match point themselves, Michael.
Oh, you love to see neat things like that, rappelling from the skylight. He also could have technically rappelled in the building. Either way, an ascent or descent on skylight, so strange. But it worked. It worked actually very well. I hope we get to see more of something like that. We have seen rappels similar to that one become meta upon success. I'm not really sure about that one, to be honest, but who knows? Anyway, Sky's winning that fight against Yeti. Just that's the headline of that round. That was devastating. eUnited were just about to set control downstairs, allow for much more comfortable positions up in Astro specifically, because Buck's no longer below, and also gain the man advantage. Skies really shouldn't have won that fight, and I'm impressed by the fact that he did. Sit down was appropriate, I believe. Yeti has not been winning his engagements, not landing his shots through this map, and that is really bad for eUnited now. We were talking about it earlier, how it's unusual, and it means that he's yet to wake up. We're getting close to the end now on map number 1, and, well, he still hasn't when you compare to his regular self. Now, he's not the only one. Grixer as well. Most of the kills being fed into Rexen in this engagement, but he has been dying, actually, for the last few rounds very early. I think he's had 12 kills for a long time.
Yeah, Rexen's also had, what, 2 rounds where he got a 4K and a 3K? Was it correctly? So 7 of those 12 kills coming in 2 rounds. Don't get me wrong. If you as a player are capable of stealing a single round with 3 kills, 4 kills, and then doing it again a second time, you basically win 2 of your team's 7 rounds by yourself. That is very much worth it, and worth noticing and worth commenting on. Problem is that Rexen's 4K came in a round that they ultimately lost. So
True.
I think you could argue that they are not as impactful kills as maybe a couple of Alfamas or a couple of Kansans, despite them having much lower totals overall.
Yeah.
That's why Katie doesn't tell the full story when people just look back and, wow, somebody dropped 19 kills? That's incredible. How'd they lose?
Yeah. I mean, I've been asking for a while for impact frags only. I feel like that would be such a more valuable statistic. It'd be cool if you could switch the scoreboard between them. Like, here's all the kills on the rounds that they won. Here's all the kills on the rounds that they didn't, and the ones that they did, and all the other. I think it'd be really interesting because impactless frags in Siege really don't mean anything. Like, if you lose the round, your kill did not amount to a single thing. There is, like, no currency system. There's no carryover. It's just a kill on a round that you lost. It doesn't mean anything. So I've always been wondering, or I've always wondered, rather, what the scoreboard would look like if we didn't include impactless frags. But that is not a statistic we have the option to view, so...
Maybe the real impacts are the friends we made along the way.
They definitely are. The journey means a whole lot, yeah.
Right. It's not where you start, Michael. It's where you end up.
Well, I think it's a... You know, it's that and everything between.
We are every cheap, like, home sense style mug
Live,
that is
laugh,
in the
love,
cupboard.
Parker.
That is in the cupboard.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah, we are going to live, laugh, love our way to the end of this match together.
Failure is the mother to success. That one's Chinese.
Or what about the one where it's like mommy's juice and it's printed on a wine glass?
I don't know that one.
So funny. Get it? Her juice is wine. Get it?
Yeah. That could be construed in a very different way.
What? How?
We'll
We'll talk about it later.
going
Action's
to be.
happening, Michael. 30 seconds. Candela's going in. One appears to hit hot and cold as the smoke will stop the various members of DZ from getting in together. Hot and cold appears to be surviving it for now. 2 kills from Hyper. There he goes. Looking for more. Alfama and Grix are down. Another from Hyper. He's throwing out all over the place. but it's a return from eUnited. Kansan and Rexen, the two new members, with the diffuser down, have quite a bit of work on their hands. And oh no, Rexen falls through the opening hatch. Match point for DZ if they pull this off. Likewise for eUnited if they're able to pull it back. But watching underneath that diffuser as it's opened up, Kansan will try to bait somebody out. They have no idea where the members of DZ are playing off of. In swings Eclipse, he'll take down Kansan. Skies gets punished by Rexen, but still, only 3 seconds left to get to that diffuser, and there's no way he's gonna do it. He's sent home early by Eclipse. Timer be damned, and DarkZero finds themselves with, will you believe this, their first lead of the map on match point.
Beautiful comeback from DarkZero, whether or not they win it. And if I were to say one word to describe said comeback, the word would be hyper. In that last round, eUnited started fragging out the second DZ went for that execute onto the site. The utility used from the Ying, though, the smokes and Candelas, and as well as Ace's smokes, were able to protect the planter enough to get the diffuser down, despite the fact that DZ was dying on that entry. And on top of that, from 90, Hyper absolutely destroying eUnited on their attempted retake. A 3K for him in the most crucial moments of that round. Beautiful stuff from Hyper. One of those kills even coming with from the pistol of all things. So, match point for DarkZero, and as you said, Parker, their first lead. They're looking solid, though. It seems as if Hyper is going to be able to carry DZ all the way to the finish line.
I mean, they heated up at the right time.
Yeah.
Very much the right time. If you go all the way back, DZ's last stead on defense, not the greatest. But since then, they win round number 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're looking for number 12 if overtime is needed. Unfortunately, the safe bet for eUnited is not going to pay off. eUnited has defense both times on OT. So, with the way things are going, you're going to be hard-pressed to hang on to that one. The good news is that both of these teams at least have one semi-strong defender site. If that's the case, should be okay in overtime, but it really depends. eUnited also hasn't defended for 6 rounds. They're going to have to go right back into it.
Yeah, I mean, let's not skip about this. Wait, you mean DZ?
No, eUnited is going to...
You said eUnited hasn't defended for 6 rounds, or did I mishear you?
Oh, apologies. Yeah, other way around.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes, DZ.
Yeah, and then they were pretty bad on defense, too. And you said it was eUnited who takes defense and OT.
Yeah, eUnited's going to go right back onto defense.
And that's rough.
DZ hasn't defended for 6 rounds, so they're going to have to go on after that.
Yeah, I think eUnited's definitely in the bad spot right now. They're in the worst spot considering the OT. However, that is the fruits of the labor that we've seen from DarkZero. That's them. That's DarkZero earning it. Let's not skip around that. So DZ has earned their advantage. We'll see if they can carry it all the way, or if eUnited is going to wake up on their defensive half. That is the real question. Maybe we'll see Eddie pop off or Grixer. Maybe we'll see Rexen come back to the fray, because he's kind of been a little bit tired after the first half, to be honest.
All of eUnited have kind of fell asleep at the wheel when it comes to killing. Alfama really hasn't added much to his tally. Yeti did some good work. Kansan hasn't really added. Rexen really hasn't. And Grixer, I mean, still sitting at 5. The guns for eUnited have largely fallen asleep over the previous 4 rounds, and Yeti will be asleep at the wheel to a certain extent as he gets punished by Eclipse. So,
oh no, the jackal track and he's trapped.
Hyper's at 17 kills, by the way. Eclipse is at 11, and Hyper will pick up kill number 18. They're just feeding him kills. That's the real answer, as Rexen is just going to get obliterated now. He's got his pistol out. He loses the fight to Skies and then punished for it. 3 kills from DarkZero as they look to take this map, make that 4, and it's Kansan in a 1v4. Now, no more for Hyper. He's going to sit at 18 kills for the remainder of this round, and presumably the remainder of this game. Kansan will go frag chasing upstairs, and he'll find Mint. What a comeback from DarkZero. They take 5 rounds in a row, and they take the map 7-5.
Jeez, I have no way of Eclipse and Hyper.